Hello, can everyone hear me? Sound check, sound check. I'll give a while for people to drop in the room and say hello. And let's go on X. Hello, who's in the room? Could you give us a sound check, please? If you could. Can you hear me? Hello. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Thank you, Claire. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now, let's go on my profile. Hello, there's 2 people in the room. Woohoo! Want to say hello, anyone? Hello, Sandra. Hope you're doing very, very well. Can you hear me loud and clear? 2 people, 1 thumb up. We give a little bit more. I'm trying to go live on X also, but I don't think I'll be very successful. Hello, Craig. How are you doing, my friend? Are you all right? Are you keeping well? And how's the family? Sorry if I'm not looking. I'm trying to. I don't know how to do this now. I've done it before. Oh, I've got you. Hello, X. Oh, brilliant, Craig. So you've had no more trouble. I'm trying to multitask here, guys. Yep. And hello, X. And hello, YouTube. So I hope you're all doing very, very well. So we've got 3 people in the room, 3 thumbs up. If you could share, please, all guys, and that'd be really appreciated. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And if you're just watching from outside the room, please feel free to follow or subscribe. It's totally up to you. So, there's 3 people in X. Hello, X. So I've been listening to this. Up in the heavens. Is there, Sandra? There's been some nutty things happening in this country, to be honest. Hence why I'm on here. 7 people on X. Brilliant. Me and my daughter. Oh, well, my girlfriend. Yeah, that's the best thing, Craig. Yeah, get your kids out, mate, and your missus, and get your daughter and yourselves out there ASAP. You can still partake in things and listen from afar, mate. I mean, you're in no condition to be doing whatever. And hello, X. I can't believe it's been a while since I've been on X. Hope you're all doing very, very well. 16 in there. Brilliant. So, give you a few more minutes to warm up here, guys. Let's try to get some more people in the rooms. Cheers, Craig. So, yeah, if you all could follow and subscribe, I should say, as well, that'd be amazing. Hello, X. And if anyone on X, if you could whack up a comment as well, see if I could see you on there. Oh, bless you, Craig. Thank you, Craig. I'll tell you what, mate, you're one of the top moderators I've ever come across. So, doesn't seem to be any comments coming up on X, but hey ho, I'm still streaming. But tonight's topic, there's 19 in there. But tonight's topic's going to be about today's carrying-ons and what's the way forward, or what anyone thinks. And my opinion, of course. But as you all know, my opinion usually causes controversy. So, but as I say, all follow, all subscribe, all share. Give it a few more minutes here, guys. Thank you, guys, for dropping in, Sandra, Craig, and Claire. Bless you all. Thank you. Hello, Colin. How are you, my friend? Colin, you should be a mod. I'm sure I made you a mod. Not a quadrophenia salt. Bless. I had to get onto that, Colin, if you don't mind. So. Oh, cheers, Carl. That's very nice of you. I'll tell you, lucky result for us last night. Yeah. Hello, Lisa. Lisa Fur. Bless you. But I'm not seeing any comments. There's 39 people in X, and I'm not seeing any comments. I wonder why that is. But for the people in X, I'll be making a space, and I'm going to start up a community as well, because I think it's a long call for. Oh, bless you, Sandra. Yeah, you got to keep warm, girl. You got to keep warm, keep your old ma warm. I mean, winter's going to be harsh. The bills have gone up once again. You know what I mean? But that's what we've got to pay for, our carbon footprint. So, yeah, it is on its way, Colin. I'll tell you what, I'm starting to feel it myself. You know what I mean? My left shoulder, it aches when it starts to get cold and damp. It's the old arthritis, to be honest. But if you've got any illnesses or anything, guys, just make sure you wrap up, please. It's quite important. So, but hello, everyone on X. Yes, Sandra, I agree with you. The carbon footprint is firmly on Millipede's rear end. I mean, that guy is delusional and he's causing so much misery, hardship. And I wonder how much money is actually doing what it's supposed to do and not, going into the elite's back pocket. No, it's a scam. It's a total scam. Yeah, I'm up for that. They're talking about banning wood burners and open fires. Well, I've got 2 open fires, and if it wasn't for them, I'd be in a lot of trouble. I've got a forest next to me, fortunately, and I will not comply. No, no, no. Luckily, I ain't got neighbours, and I'm not in the city with all those council worshippers going around, bunging out fines to people. So I don't know what I've done wrong with it, and I'll go to, if I can't reply to anyone on the X channel, I do apologise. That's 46. I don't know what I've sent there. I think I've sent a stupid request. So everyone's keeping fine. And as I say, we'll go on. And today's little bit's going to be about, well, it's a video I done yesterday. And unfortunately, I'm ashamed to say I called it right. And after those, well, us all being branded this and branded that. And I said in the video that's on my channel about how it could radicalize someone and something nasty will happen. And quite obviously, we've seen that today. And I'm sure this ain't going to be the end of it. But quite obviously, a Cobra meeting with that useless bugaboonie, well, we all know what we're talking about, Stalin, and being chaired, I'm sorry, by a woman that pretends to be British and she hasn't got a bit of English, Welsh, Irish or Scottish blood in her, laying down the law and chairing that, when they've been calling out for the last 2 years for the unaliving of Jews, the unaliving of Christians, and the unaliving of anyone that ain't a believer. And it's gone beyond the pale now, personally. For me, it has. I'm not inciting anything, but how long do we take this for? How long do we sit back and just go, oh, look back in anger? You know what I mean? It's getting ridiculous. It's getting embarrassing. And to be honest, I'm disgusted with it. And I'm at the end of my tether with it. I really am. Really, really am. I mean, let me know your opinion. But, I mean, that woman's parents come over here from Pakistan. Okay, and she was born here. But you have a look, if she done an ancestry, nothing will pop up there. And what she said was foul and disgusting. And to be honest, I think they made their feelings quite known, under the guise. And then they all waved the flags, and you're thinking, you hypocritical buggers, you know what I mean? Why don't they just stop hijacking our flags and hijacking our country? And we've got to get it back, guys. It's as simple as that. And I'm totally enraged by it, to be honest. I really am enraged. I don't know. I've got to watch what I say, because I'll get a visit after 2 in the morning by a copper that looks stoned out of his nut. And I mean, and it's quite obvious as well that the powers to be know that something's coming and something was going to happen. How their quick response time was, and still the British people ain't waking up, raising the colours and protesting out of hotels. It's not the answer. I personally feel that mass deportations are necessary, i.e. ASAP. Means those Palestinian protests that have been happening for the last 2 years, I mean, if they're still allowed to happen, I'm not being funny, it's criminal. It's totally criminal. And what they're calling, I mean, if we did that, what would happen? Well, what would happen? We're scared to talk. We're scared to do anything. Yeah, I know, Craig. I'm sorry to hear about the loss of your parents, my old mate. Yeah, I mean, your luck's terrible. I won't be asking you for lottery numbers, mate. Really mean that, because I know we've discussed that, and I mean, I think, to be honest, during that last pandemic, if you fell off a ladder or a scaffold, they would have put it down to that. But got to watch what you say, because you'll be in, well, you'll be in jail. Simple as that. But what I will beg of everyone is follow, and to subscribe. Okay, and on that link above, everyone, there's buy me a coffee, and you're more than welcome, because I don't get paid jack. But what I am going to do over the weekend, I'm going to do something like a shop in it, because you can do a shop in it, and I'm going to start selling off some of my memorabilia. I've got loads, and I've got ample stuff, films, boxing memorabilia, a hell of a lot of Arsenal stuff, I must admit. But a couple of them shirts will be going to my daughters, because I got them specially signed for when they were born. So my eldest, luckily, unfortunately, she was born on a double season, so she's got a decent shirt. But the youngest, bless her, it was a season that we didn't really win anything. It was just after the Invincibles, so maybe she'd get that shirt just to compensate. But yeah, everything's got to go, guys, because you know what I mean. With my last things that have happened in hello, Will. Nice to see you, me old mate. Everyone, Will, I know. Okay, he's a good friend of mine. He's a Scass, and if you see him on YouTube, please, guys, give him a follow. Okay, he's a bit raw, rough and ready at the moment, but he'll improve. Not like me, just stay where I am. I know, Craig, I agree with you. Labour and Stalin and all that, and everyone claiming to be a patriot, and us plastic patriots, are we? I mean, that was insulting. No. That's not the way it goes. Yeah, I know you're born ready, Will. I went on a United Kingdom thing with you, I don't know, a few years ago before my cancer thing. I know you're rough and ready, mate. I know you are, you loon. It was nice to have you next to me. I felt like I had a bodyguard, buddy. So, and to everyone, I'm sorry. No messages are coming up on. Maybe that's a good thing, because I know there's some lunatics on X. But well, on X, a lot of changes could happen to my account. I'll start a space. I'm thinking of what I think I just might call it the logo. You know what I mean? And leave attitudes at the door. Come in and have whatever you drink, a quiet light out, and it'd be a plastic light out, and we'll have a discuss, and we'll take it from there. And I'm going to start a community as well, guys. So if you agree with my stuff, as a lot of people do, and you all know I follow back, so I always pay back everything. Yeah, Sandra, Will's one of them geezers. He's a front liner. He's staunch. He doesn't run. He stands. He's a staunch fella. Sort of guy you wouldn't mind in the trenches with you. Yeah, you're welcome here, Will, mate. We're all right here. Okay, we might be small on YouTube. We might be quite big on X, but everyone's all right. And guys, I can't see the comment on X. And if there's any idiots, just don't entertain them. I mean, just thank them for, you know, helping out, messing around with the account. You know, it helps the algorithm. You know what I mean? But I'm sorry if you're getting spammed by idiots or anything on there. I really do apologise for that, but just ignore them, as you know. And when I go through later, I'll pick one or two special ones, and we'll get their IP addresses, and we'll go around and see how they really are. Yeah, that's it, Will. To be honest with you, on YouTube, we've got well, I recognise all the names, and each and every one of the guys that are in chat there with you right now are staunch, and there's loads more that join in. I spoke to Sharon yesterday, if any, because she was asking on the chat, everyone at Sharon Ray yesterday, and she's just to step back for, take her nut off things, because it's driving her a tad mad at the moment, and so it's best the lady just steps back, and the son just got married and everything, and you know, it's sometimes it's good just to step back. So, but yeah, we're building up. We've got 9 in the room here and 5's up. Everyone, please put a thumbs up, guys. That helps. And share, 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 share. That's all I can say. But as I said, I'm going to open up on the Buy Me a Coffee app. So everything here is not printed signatures. It's all live signatures. Okay. And it all comes with a certificate of authentication. And if anyone dares, I dare you all to take it to a professional to have it authenticated afterwards, as someone else tried to do with me years ago on something when I bought their son a shirt. It's all legit. Everything's legit. Everything is legit. You know, if not, I'll give your money back. But I very much doubt I've got it. But I've got some prestige signatures. Yeah, Colin. Yeah, everything happens slowly but surely. I mean, as you all know, I mean, I ain't going to run around and jump in a load of these Palestinian marches, chasing people up the road, calling them this and that. That's not my style. That's aggressive. Well, in my eyes, that is. And you're asking for being lumped, you know. And also, due to the health reasons with that cancer battle and losing half a kidney, I am not really, I'm still in rehabilitation. I'm not allowed to work yet. But I've been walking on my walks. I've noticed there's a lot of, you know, dry walling. Now, I'm a brickie by trade and I've got to watch what I lift and that. But I'm thinking of asking a couple of farmers whether they wouldn't mind me volunteering, maybe for a little bit of, produce and things like that. And I'll fix up some walls and then maybe I could turn it into a little living, because I can't tolerate this not working. I've not been able to work since, well, as you all know, since the doctors told me in August 24th, 2024. That's it, Lucifer. That's exactly it. That is the whole process of everything. Is you got to lay your foundations and build up from there. You can't just go steaming in. I'll be up your first game. Well, to be honest, when you're saying that moving them into these liberal areas, I think that's what's needed. We need to take it there, and put it in there and let everyone wake up. And if they ain't waking up, I had someone on here on that video giving it. I didn't know nothing. Well, I called it right and said I was uneducated and I should be following Corbyn. I said I wouldn't follow Corbyn if he was the last man on earth. I mean, that guy is an IRA sympathiser. No offence to the Irish or the IRA. Okay, the war is finished. Okay, and the argument's over. But she is so delusional. And then his ex-girlfriend still calling out that we're all racists. Diane Abbott. And she can't even add 2 and 2. She's thick as 2 planks, which is a thick as shit. And that's a fact. And I'm getting peed off with these privileged immigrants, because that's what they are. They're privileged. We're not. Our kids get nothing. You're lucky to go to the dentist. The only time you get seen in the dentist is if you save up the money and get it done privately. Everyone else, no. I'm sick of it. I really am. Them being put up first over. And as I've said to you guys in the past, I come from Haringey, right? I've had this bull BS, right, since the 80s, and I'm sick of it. At the beginning, it was fine. You know what I mean? Because there was a few things that had to be ironed out with the old bill, and they got ironed out in 85, right? And after that, they stopped doing what they were doing and everyone got on. But then a certain ethnicity moved in. We had with Kosovos, remember that? And then they all started coming and they just took over and they were filthy. They brought down all the manners and there was the cohesion of communities and everything was destroyed. Nice one, Sandra. Well, you've got to teach the kids now. I mean, they're. I mean, I was watching someone's live. I watched down in Spain, but he was on live with certain other individuals. But they put up a phone call, and a school. And, this teacher was secretly recorded, and she's trying to influence the children. They're trying to influence the children and everything, and it's disgusting. You know, I'm grateful that my kids are out of school, but I'm dreading the day when grandchildren come along because that ain't going to be happening. That ain't going to be happening. And no matter what they call me or whatever, I don't give a crap anymore. That doesn't mean nothing. Racist, bigot, what am I, skinhead as well? I like to think I'm a little bit more than a skinhead. You know, I remember in the 70s, I tried to be a skinhead for one day. So one day I was behind B-Jams with my brother and we got our heads kicked in, but I cut a few punks. And that was the end of that. Yeah, so, well, they've been putting them in HMOs for a long time, mate. They're everywhere. They're all over the place. And their businesses as well, as I've said before. Okay, they get paid money from the government to start up a business. Now, wouldn't it be lovely if our children were given money after they come out of college, say doing their hairdressing course or bricklaying course or plumbing course, and they got a fund to help them go and build a business? Not like these guys. They come over, contribute nothing, right? And they get everything. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. They get the teeth fixed. They get dentist appointments. They get hospital appointments. I mean, I'm so grateful for the hospital and people that treated me. I really am. And honestly, I don't care what ethnicity you are. When a man's on, you know what I mean? Those people were beautiful, right? But in the waiting room when I went back, and some men were really scared. You know what I mean? People were scared, and you've got these translators in there, and these guys, and you know what? Why are you using our service if you can't even speak English? I don't care. I'm sick of it. That's what's wrong with the national health. The national health has gone to shit. Okay, and then when I was there, I had to get checked every now and then, and you know, like a scan, like you know when a lady is pregnant and they put that thing on, and they have one for each ward, and unfortunately, the one on my ward broke, so they had to borrow it from the other ward, and it just wasn't working out. It was a ridiculous situation to be in, to be honest, and I felt sorry for the actual staff. Yeah. Operation Scatter and hope you don't notice them. Yeah. But hey ho, we are noticing them and we know where they are, and they're proving a danger to our children, and that's a fact. Our women and our young kids are in danger from these people. Hello, mate. It ain't me. I'm doing all right, mate. I'm doing all right. Plodding on, as they say. Same old shit, different day. You know, but I thought I'd whack on a live tonight because I just fancy doing a live. Smashed it with a load of videos yesterday. I videoed out, but I'll do one again for tomorrow, and then I think I'm going to take the weekend off, and I'm going to sort that shop. I'm going to sort X out so I can get my comments up, because it keeps saying scroll for old comments. Let's see if it'll work, but I very much doubt it. I don't know what it is, so I'm sorry about that on everyone on X. And if you are having difficulties, guys, and you want to drop in on the conversation, no lefties, okay, because you would be booted before you can even get your second sentence out, okay? Just put on the link above, guys, and join in, you know. Hello, John. Long time no see, mate. You know what I mean? Long time no see, John. I hope you're keeping well, fella. Nice to see you. So, yeah, but yeah. So I mean, what more can we say about our Home Secretary? She's a Muslim. She swears on the Quran, and in the Quran it says to unalive all Christians, all non-believers, and the Jews. And she's there chairing with a commie, a Marxist rent boy lover that's on drugs, okay, and they're talking about the safety of the poor. I feel my heart's broken for the Jewish communities in Great Britain. I mean, how horrid must it be? on their holy day to be putting up with that crap. And I mean, how long's it going to be before they say, oh, it was only a Welsh choir boy, but we all saw him. And also, I've got on good thingy, the witnesses there, you know, they heard him screaming Allah, that cult crap. You know what I mean? What they do. Sharon, hello, sweet. Nice to see you. Oh, bless you. I was just talking about you, Sharon, telling everyone that you were stepping back a bit because you was doing your nutting. Nice to see you in here, love. Really is. But yeah, so whatever they say is disgusting. And I mean, I'm certain there's something else coming for us. And then, you know what? The schools that have been going in lockdown, ask Will about that. I'm sure he covered one. Yeah, St. Beebe's School. Yeah, 2 guys jumped the fence. Yeah, and they won't let that out, but they'll put that down to a couple of boys playing truant, I should imagine. I agree with you 100%. You know, I think, as I've called months and months ago, all schools in this country should have school patrols, you know, security, you know, but no. And the teachers should need a good clear out as well. And maybe arm a couple of the teachers that are qualified if they're ex-vets or they've got that about them and they ain't cowards and not liberal and trying to talk it out. And maybe if something does happen, they have to go to work. Hello, M&G. I was going to call you Mag there, rightly. But you know what? I hope you're okay. Seeing a few. Yeah. It's lovely to see a few old faces. Biggest surprise is John. God, I ain't seen him for a while. And our lovely Sharon, but she's in the WhatsApp group, guys. So any one of you want to get on there, just DM me, especially you guys on X, and we'll put you in there. And remember, if you get past me, you've got the other admin, and she's like a Rottweiler, and that right, Sharon. And you know, and we can speak in confidence there about certain other things. And on X as well, you can subscribe, and you'll get a little bit extra content. But yeah, everyone, you got to come and join us because it ain't going to be long before all of this is shut down and everything. And as I say, they won't monetize my account because of what I say. And I'd had to take down nearly 300 videos. And it got to a point where I've done a couple of history tours. I like doing them, as you know. And then I thought, you know what? What's the point? What is the point? I'm not bowing to that. You know, that's just the way it is. I'm a seeker of truth and justice. So that's just the way it goes all. So we're building in the room here. We're building, and X is wonderful. As always, 101. Whee! I hope you're not Dalmatians. And guys, I can't see any of your comments on X, so please, big love to you all, and thank you all for joining the live. I really mean that. And I will sort that out, and I'll sort a lot out. And as I say, I'm going to start a space, start community, start everything on X. And everyone on YouTube, please come over if you can and join us on X. But I do believe you're censored on X. I do. I know you've got to watch what you're saying. You can't be threatening people, but it seems that if you say anything, you know, I don't know. I just got a suspicion we're being watched on there, and I don't trust anything. And I'm looking at another platform as well where we can speak in confidence because I'm sick of this. People getting knocks on doors and being coward. And you know what? Don't be coward anymore, guys. Really don't. You know, just keep your wits. Watch what you say. Don't get angry, right? And think of what our forefathers went through and our predecessors had to do, storming them beaches and everything, and what they did it for. Okay, and we cannot let them down. All right, because all their monuments and all their names and all them vehicles that come over with the flags draped on them, so they've all been branded far right for dying for that flag, under that flag. You know, do not cower. And I love that. I love the Irish flag, by the way. As I was saying to everyone, M&G, I am a half Irish for public. I've done my ancestry. That's official, 50% of me. So I've got a stake in everything here. Where's that? Is that on X? It ain't me. That are not showing up. I can't see any messages. Yeah, Colin, you're right there. You're right. But to be honest, when I saw that horrid racist attack by that cowardly geezer behind that young lass on the bus, and with those cowards and disgraceful racists that were sat there and done nothing to help that poor lass, I had to walk away from everything and I had to go and have a long walk because I need a couple of days out because it radicalised me. Not radicalised me in like I was, but I just wanted sweet revenge, and that's not the way to be. And I had to clear my head and start thinking sensibly. I still YouTube is going up on phone and not the telly. I'm sorry about. I've been doing it because when I done the United Kingdom, it ain't me on the 13th of September with Sharon and maybe a few of the others that were there. I got slaughtered. I was right at the front of that. Fortunately, I had 2 handsets and I had another camera equipment, and everything got soaked through. I lost a load of content. I lost the handset. I lost my mics, and it was just all because it's electrical equipment and all these coats they sell you saying, oh, they're waterproof and that, but they're not that sort of when it's raining cats and dogs. Keep going, Sharon. Yeah, that Colin, that disturbed me. Even so, that I can't, I can't even see pictures of that. Okay, and I don't know what it was that triggered me on that. But as I said to the family and the kids, I think it was the girl wearing the earbuds and in her joggers and with that little hat, just reminded me of my youngest daughter. And I wish I was there. I really wish I was there. I really wish. I'm gonna get upset. Yeah, Colin, I won't give up, mate, until the fat lady sings. I won't give up. No, 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 no. That's not in my MO. No, no, no. No. Ask anyone that knows me personally. I do not stop. I keep marching forward. And if I have to a tactical retreat, God help you when I come back, when I've got my thoughts back around me. So, and I'm not inciting nothing. I'm just speaking fact. People that know me, have a checkup. I mean, check my name, Lee Mead. Ask the old Bill. They know plenty about me. I don't nick, never nicked. No, no, no. I'm getting an old man now, but hey ho, might have to start bringing back a bit of that fire. We all do, Sharon. There's nothing to be ashamed of on that one, mate. And it's all by design as well. They're trying to drag us down. I mean, I felt damned after watching that Labour. I watch them thinking, yeah, I'll get some content and I can, make something off it and all that. The rage in me was so, I've never been so insulted. And I do not want, and I don't give a shit if people want to call me racist. I don't mind. I wear that badge of honor, right? Yeah. And all my black pals, all my Asian friends, yeah, they're all going to wear that badge with honor. We just want to go back how it was. These mad jihadis coming in here, right? They've infiltrated everything and then start telling us, and then that speech was inflammatory. It was calling for violence against us, right? If you do a tweet or a post and it's offended, they're straight round at your door. But it's all right for them. The old Bill should have gone in there and nicked every one of them that done a speech, because all of it, every bit of it, was calling for our demise. End off. There's no ifs or buts about it. Calm down, Lee. Calm down. Sorry, X. But yeah, you know how I feel on X. You see my page, you know what I put up. And I try to answer everyone on X. But when there's nearly 18,500 of us and we get some comments, and sometimes it's good. But I try to answer every one of you. I really do. But then the occasional idiot, I try to go back with them and then they just cut and then I just end up blocking them and reporting them. And that's what you've got to do. If you get any of them idiots, just report and block. And then if you're in a group, well, when I start my group, if you're in that group, get the details, put a link in there, and we'll all do the same and just get rid of them. You know, fight fire with fire. End of. Because I'm not on with this. I'm not for this turning another cheek. Them days are gone. They went in 1991 with me. Okay, it's fight fire with fire, an eye for an eye. And I'm sorry for the religious people, all right, but you know, I'm very respectful to everyone's religion. But when people are coming out and unaliving our people, I'm not going to stand back. No, I'm not. I'm not. And I made that promise to myself. I never will. I won't. I might be an old bastard. I'm getting on. Yeah, I know. And I mostly get put on my ass by my first slap. But I'll tell you what, I'll get back up again. And it might as well just kill me. You know, I don't care. Yeah, thank you, Sharon. I mean, not everyone's up for it. I mean, a lot of people just run. But certain people don't. And then that's what we need now. I know from the groups that I'm in on X especially, that there's a lot of veterans and all that are getting a bit peed off now, as you all know. And, you know, time's running out for all of this. Marcella, how are you, my darling? And Marcella, everyone, she is a proper little staunch patriot. And we've been helping each other out with something, but she's like a big sister. And when she moves up my way, I've got to teach her to drive, and she's going to teach my family some Spanish. But she's lovely, everyone. Give her a follow, and honestly, she's lovely. Exactly, Lucifer. I'm sorry. I'm going back to the Old Testament and taking certain things out on there, and I think we all have to push this back, because they don't give up. It's a cult. All right, and if you look, I'm not going to go on the ins and outs of their book, because I think it ain't even worth toilet paper, right? And I don't care if I offend anyone, right? Because I talk in the facts, right? And if they want to take me to a court of law, we'll get it. I've known people, and we'll translate it, and what it says. It's just a cult. You know, they're here to colonize, right? They want to turn us into a caliphate, right? And I am sick and tired of people that are just cowering and whispers. Don't whisper anymore. Be loud, right? The time has come, and we got it. And as I said, we're not going to last to 2029. No chance. No chance. And to be honest, if there was a snap election tomorrow, I'm not a reformed man, as you all know. I was at the beginning, then I got done some homework, because there was decent people that, you know, ticked me off, and I looked into it. And yeah, I agree that Farage is a bit of a, you know, he's a bit of a wet lettuce, and he likes to walk away, and he likes a backhander, and wouldn't surprise me if he was part of the WEF also. But I'm advanced, but advanced ain't got the footing at the moment. So if there's a snap election anytime soon, and advance ain't there, and it ain't going to happen, because getting 1 or 2 seats in that house ain't enough. We need a majority, maybe you know, all to unite. I want us all to unite and just get the win, right? And then just have a right clear out, because we need to get rid of half the civil service, half the police, half the military, right? Okay, I saw a British general. It's a trans. I mean, that guy should not be in charge of any people. No way. Why do good people like Charlie Kirk get shot, but the people who are horrible get promoted? Exactly, Sharon. It's all one-way streets with this mob. One-way streets all the time. And if we speak up or we say anything, we come down with the law. But you know what? The law ain't worth shite anymore. They can go and do one. And all these people saying, the police are this and the police are that. They're going to throw them to the wolves, right? They're just useful idiots at the moment. And the old Bill to come round and waste police time and trying to do you for, you know, posts or whatever. I say, let's go. We'll go to the court. I'll keep going to the courts. And if they want to whack me on command, or on remand, that's wrongful imprisonment once I win my case, and they're going to have to pay me. End of. And that Khan, he needs out. That Manchester guy, he needs out. Right? Look at Piccadilly Gardens. You know what I mean? How the hell can people be fooled by these bastards? What they've done to our country, it should be Nuremberg 2.0, end off. All right. And anyone can say I'm being a radical and all that. I don't care. Maybe we need a little bit more of radicalization on our side. All right. Keep sending us to prevent. You know, everything that's on, oh, they're going here and everyone that's being radicalized, they always target the white guy, don't they? You know, that poor lass that got attacked in that churchyard. Four men partated in that crime. Four men. But they only said one was white. So, you know, why don't you put a description out of them all so we can get them all nicked? You know, and also that's really pissing me off, right? Big time, guys, right? And this is YouTube. You know, if you don't want to monetize me, I'll just crack on until you strike me out. I don't care, right? But on this TikTok and X and all that, you've got these guys doing little videos saying, oh, you English, you just get on the bus. I'm going to drive my Audi. You know what? Them guys need putting back in their place. End off. They better get in their lane very soon because they're getting all courageous. Driving through Golders Green, you know, a couple of years ago with all that Palestinian crap, calling for the rape and murder of Jews. Not one of them got put away or nicked for that. And then look what's happening. You know, and yeah, make me a target. You know what? I say to you, you've got to be a big man to do it. Good luck with that. Good luck with it. Because as I say on every one of my videos, ready for anything. Look for the few yards ahead. And I'll get in trouble for being ready for anything. Everyone thinks I'm a loon. But you have to be. Every time. Yeah, well, Sharon, I mean, yeah, everything is totally gone to pot in this country. All these mayors are having translators. We've got Home Secretary and another wrong one. That what's I can't even remember her name. That white woman that looks like a piece of washed up, greasy crap, right? And they're in charge of the grooming gang, you know, inquiry. All they're doing is giving you little bits where they've got them, right? And then they ain't, because you know why? That grooming gang ain't just Pakistanis, right? I'm telling you this now. It's the establishment, it's the police, it's the social services, it's the whole lot, it's across the board. You know what I mean? Vulnerable children should not be put on offer like that. And they were selling them. They were even phoning up. What's it called where the kids go? Like, you know, community halls, you know, where the kids, you know, youth clubs, you know, they've got them nonces in charge of that. And then they're targeting the vulnerable, the poor. And then shame on the parents as well for all being addicted. You've got to give up the drink. You've got to give up the drugs, man. Jesus Christ, that's a big problem. And who's bringing all that shit in? Yeah, but they won't tell you about that. And what about all the arms that they're taking out of these geezers? You know, when they come over on the boats, they get all their IDs gone, but they've got arms. So they get every gun that they do get, right? I guarantee you there'll be 3 or 4 that are getting through. Hey, we've got so many idiots in the house of nonsense, mate, because they're all wrong uns. Right? I've been saying this, screaming it from the rooftop. When I was a kid, right, you got told not to go down near there as a kid by your mum and your nan. Right? I said, don't go down there because they're all full of wrong uns. And that was before we had this problem. So all that's happened is they've imported more wrong uns to join our wrong uns and then made a big wrong un party of it. I mean, Jesus Christ, everyone goes, oh, you're racist to call them out. No, you're not racist to call out anything that happens to the children, right? Okay, you're not racist. And that Black Lives Matter with that little girl saying, oh, they've got a title. There's no excuse for that coward, right? And he was lucky. He was so lucky because, oh, I would have defended that girl with love. I would have. I really would have. But I tell you what, oh, yeah, he would have wished the day he was never born. He would have wished it, man. I would have given him everything I'd got, everything and more. I would have got the. I wouldn't need to get the courage, but I would have got some form of super. I don't care. All of them on that bus should be all complicit and all be charged and all should be jailed for what they did. And that Black Lives Matter, the biggest load of waffle that I've ever seen in my life. They've all got mansions, and what have they done for the black community? What have they done? Nothing. All they've done is just face bait. That's all they do, you know. And how can you defend what that fella did? And the biggest mistake that I ever did was watching that whole thing on video. I wish I never did. It still haunts me, and it haunts me bad, to be honest. And that's what's driving me forward, because I won't stop. And I won't stop until we get justice for our kids over here. All right, at least they got the Don over there. You know what I mean? He's doing it, the punters, and everyone's not liking it. But they've got proper home guard, you know, and they could bring out their National Guard, and they're properly tooled up, and they're not taking it, and they're ripping them out of everywhere. I know it's heartbreaking. See you later, Will, mate. Lovely seeing you, man. Give us a message. Let us know how you're cracking on, bruv. Okay, but please, everyone, give Will. He's just started up on his YouTube, and if you could give him a subscribe, he's cool. He's he's a good guy. He's a good guy. Oh, well done, Will. You're a good man like that. Well done, Will. Yeah, Will's the sort of guy that'll walk round and he'll see someone down on their luck. He asks them a few questions, and people go, "Oh, you're out of order for asking someone." No, 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 he ain't. Because you know what he does? Puts hot tea, he put hot juice in their belly and hot food, and get him some blankets or something. That's what he does. And half the time, he does it out of his own pocket. Yeah, yeah. Will's a good guy. He is a good guy, and I've spent time with Will, you know, in person, and you know, a wrong and you know, a decent geezer, and Will's a decent geezer. He's the sort of guy you can trust. He won't run. He stands shoulder to shoulder with you. You know, and I'm sorry, X. None of your comments are coming up, and if you want to come over and make a comment and it to be seen, there's a link above and it'll take you straight to the YouTube and you jump on. But yeah, but yeah, I mean, the change has got to come. I mean, I've been watching. I like that Fast Jet performer. God, he gets a little bit emotional as well. He's worse than me for his rants, but he's so bang on. And as I say to everyone, you've got to get your fitness up, right? And you've got to be ready for anything. You've got to get your finances sorted, right? Out the banks, right? I'm not inciting a bank rush, but I'm telling you, get your money out of banks before they dip into it. Hide it, right? And if not, buy a high carat gold, right? And just hide it. And then gold, the spot will come up and you'll be all right. And at least those buggeroonies ain't taking your life savings or taxed it again to give away, you know, to terrorist organizations, i.e. Hamas, i.e. all that Palestinian mob. You know, so but anyway, guys, whack up a question or something, please. I feel like I'm going on a rant, man. So, but yeah, on X, guys, I'll be doing a space, and as I said, on that buy me a coffee, I've been at this for a year and a half, and I think I've taken 45 quid. But I will be putting a shop in there with my own merch, and anything you're interested, I'll put pictures up of what I've got and a price on it, and then plus postage and packaging. And as I say, everything comes with a certificate of authentication, uh, all of that shenanigans. But I have got a lot of Arsenal stuff. I must admit that, and I know some of you are Man U, Liverpool fans, and elsewhere, but I can't help that being a gooner. So, but yeah. So I'm sorry, X. I really am. I don't know what's going on with that. So is everyone keeping well? And is everyone anyone got a question or want to put a question or an opinion out? You're more than welcome. I wish I could. I wish I could reply to X right now, but I can't for some bleeding reason. Let's have another go. I'm scared to press a button in case I go. That's not that one. Can someone lay a comment on X and see if that pops up? Because it just said something about hi chat and I've just pressed it. I'd love a coffee shower. I had my first latte today and it was actually delicious for a long time. I mean, it must be about a year and a half since I had one of them. I enjoyed it because I think I got a bit addicted to that Starbucks and Costa crap. Show chat. There you are. Right. So if anyone in X can whack up something and see if it comes up. Listen, Craig, to Elon, I thought I'd be a smarty, right? I like to follow people back. And okay, and I thought, right, see all these Elon accounts, all these families, his mum, his goddamn knows what else he's related to. And I thought I'd just block them. I must have blocked about 3,000 of them so far, and they still keep coming. And they're just all fraudulent accounts. I mean, I am going to actually put a post to him on one of these and just say, can you do something about it? Because it's disgusting. At least for I don't do that. I mean, Pash dropped into the chat the other week there, and that was lovely. But I'm not. I'm not here for people to promote it. That's their choice. If they don't, that's fine. You know what I mean? I'm me. They're them, and you know that's just the way it goes. But Dino Bain, I like him as well. I love Pass. I always have. I've been subscribing to Pass for donkeys. Yeah, for as long as I can remember. Paz was one of the first, and he's staunch, and he's an ex-squaddy. I've got a lot of respect for him. And when I was when I come out and I was in recovery, and I was got back to my room in the hospital, and I was still out of my nut, and he sent me a message, and it was really nice of him. And actually, June Slater did as well. You know, and I like that. The other ones, they can all go and do a swivel. I don't care about them. But I like that. I like Fast Jet Performer, Paz, Dina Bain. I like the Black Barrister. I like them sort of guys. The ones that don't run, you know, and they don't take super chats all the time. You can buy them a coffee or do you know, or a super chat, and they thank you, and they're very, you know what I mean. But there's others that are just milking it, and I just feel like the cold callers trying to rip off people that are vulnerable and making a few quid out of people's misery. That's just the way I feel, and that's my own full opinion, and I'll keep with that. But no, I'm not going to be chat. But when I get the technology better, no. That would be Pass's call. But as I was just about to say, I'm starting to get a bit better with the technology on the old laptop. I'm going to start like I'm using a mic today. It took me about 4 hours with the help of another to get it done, but hopefully it's all working well. But I would like to be able to put a link in and they come. But you're talking to a guy that didn't have computers. I didn't have all that. I wasn't, not because I'm like don't want to learn. I wanted to learn, but the opportunity wasn't there, unfortunately. But hey ho, that's just the way it goes. And at this age, after everything that's happening to me, I've had to reinvent myself, and I'm trying my best with this. But as I said, with that drywalling, I've seen some, so I might volunteer to fix some walls with the farmers if it's okay with them. Fix some when I get a little bit better. One, it's good exercise, and I'm dying to get out and do something. I really am, and then hopefully I could turn it maybe into a little earner, you know, a nice little honest earner. I know that, Lucifer, but I am a straight talker. But that's what I feel. My account's suppressed. It's shadow banned. I'm certain of that, and I do put myself out there, but I don't want to do it on anyone else's coattails. As I say, I'll build it up, my own way. It's up to you guys to share, and one day I'll get a lucky share or someone listening to do that, and that'll be the way. But no, begging ain't my business. You know what I mean? Other people doing all this, running around, and like a lunatics, doing all that. All they're going to do is give themselves a heart attack. Greg's. I found a little place, and like the day I went up there, get a bit naughty. I got a hot dog and I had a latte, and it's my little treat. I do every now and then, not too much because I don't like the processed foods, but I've done that. Yeah, Sharon. Yeah, yeah. Just be you, Sharon. That's what you've got to do. Just be you. And talk from your heart. Try not to say anything too wild, especially on what platform you are, and don't end up in their jails or with the Stasi knocking on your door. I'm getting there, Colin. But yeah, Sharon, you've got to persevere. Your pieces are lovely, and I mean, Marcella, bless her, she had to turn one of your last, bring it back, your uncle and your grandfather. God bless them and thank you for their service. But what brave men! She was so sad. And use your phone. Everyone uses their phone. When I go out and do those videos, I have my phone. Or if I'm doing here and I do a video to release, I will use my phone. Don't be coward. Everyone, if you just do it, you know what I mean. But you have to get yourself verified and go through that way on the accounts and get checked and show some ID and all that. But there's loads of big YouTubers. They don't tell you none of the secrets. They don't tell you what to do. How you can get your message out there. I've got one guy, a couple of guys that do help me out on certain things, but then others don't, and they still keep cashing in, and I just think they're frauds, and that's my own opinion. But hey ho, and when you're in company in London town with people that are real people, okay, and you mention their names, and when they all turn around and say the same thing from different directions, you've got to listen to them guys. You've got to listen to them. They're the ones that stop you getting nicked. Well, I refuse to use Uber, to be honest with you, and all that Just Eat and all of that. No, no, no. I will not use any of that. Uh, I've even told my kids not to. I'm certain my youngest does because it's convenient, but I'm telling her not to. You know what I mean? Because I don't trust them. I've seen them ring doorbells and the footage of them guys, and all of them, they're creeps, they're nasty. I don't want them coming to my door. And what do they do with your food? Where do they leave them bags? As someone said here a few weeks ago, you don't know what vermin's running over them. You don't know what they're eating out of your food or spitting in it. Nah, no, none of that. None of that. None of that. Yeah, Uber can go and do one. Go and do one. And I'm with the black cabbies with it. You don't. Yeah, we've had the odd occasional black cabbie that's been a wrong 'un, and they've been caught rather lively. And when they haven't, they have been, and and they've got the full force of the law has dealt with them. But these Uber guys, they seem to be getting, and on all the grooming scandals, guys, it involves taxi drivers. Okay, taxi drivers of Uber. Okay, and it's as simple as that, and they ship them around. All right, and if they ain't chauffeuring them, it'll be a police that are doing it, and there's proof out there. So on any one of them, I welcome them to try to take me to the court for libel, right? Because I counter sue you and I sue you back. End off, done. Yeah, Marcella. Yeah, Sharon Ray. She's just above you there in the chat with you. She's the young lady that did that piece, and that was touching content, Sharon. Very touching. But just remember, and another thing, if you're going to do it, and I recommend to everyone, is like try to keep, within the law, but join the speech union. Okay, this is what we have to do now in our own country to speak, right? But you join them, and they give you literally a letter of guidelines, and you try to keep within them, and then you just hold tight, right? Don't say jack, right? Don't take any of the solicitors, and they will come and get you. End of. Yeah, Colin, I'll use that with a double W, a capital B, right? And I could have put a lot more onto it. Ubers are disgusting, terrible. You know what I mean? And they were trying to. I was doing mini cabbing for a while down in Finsbury Park, down that manor, and that was rough as chips then. And they were trying to legislate us, and we had to go through hoops. And yeah, we got a lot of rubbish from the black cabs, and quite rightly so, because we was nicking their trade. But you know, we went through hell. But the geezers were all decent, right? Especially in my cab office, they were all decent fellas, right, from all walks of life. Okay, but this Uber lot, they're just, and none of their taxes, they're all illegals, they'll be all on benefits, their families will all be in a social housing, right? And they're going out earning, and nothing happens to them. But if I did that, or any of you guys did that, well, I'm not being funny, you'll be dragged across the coals, and they'll get all the money back off you, and they'll ruin you. You know, as they say, you'll have nothing and be happy. That's what they want us to be. Have nothing and be happy. And that's why I say, if you can, source your stuff, even down just to eggs or anything. Go to your local farmers. They're always up for earning a few quid, right? Because they're sick of it. They get treated like trash, right? And support your farmers. But the farmers have got to come out and support us a lot more now. It works both ways, farmers. But the farmers around here, I'm not being funny, I love them to bits. And I'm so glad I'm in this manor. I'm so glad. Yes, of course, Sharon, mate. You know, of course they're sussing out the gaff and see who's vulnerable and who ain't. Seeing if it's just an old lady in there for that lot. You know what I mean? You know, that's what they're doing, mate. And then they all go back and have a chinwag. And then you hear that Uber and all of them, Just Eat, have laid off thousands of people. That ain't good enough. Every single one of them should go. I was watching someone else's and he had a bloke was checking out on MOTs. You could do it. You could do it and anyone could do it. It's not like it's a special power. You could check the motors, and the motors weren't even roadworthy, and the police don't want to know. They overlook them. You know, but if they catch your son or Mr. John Smith in a car that ain't got an MOT or tax, you're getting your car taken and you're going to get fined. And then loads of points on your license. It's as simple as that. You know, as I will say on X, please all follow, and I'll follow you back. Just look at my numbers, right? And they speak for themselves. And I'll be making a space, and I'll be starting up a community there, and I'll be doing that. And on the Just Coffee link, guys, right? You can buy me a coffee if you so desire, right? But if you don't, I'm going to be putting a shop there, and I'm going to be start selling things. And I've got some really good stuff, you know, Beatle albums, you know, signed Beatle pictures. You know what I mean? All legit. Yeah, of course I won't do nothing. And they're nicking your number plates as well. So they'll be going and running all the lights. And that's why they want the digital ID, so they could just fine you first, and then you've got to argue later to try to get your money back. And has anyone ever tried to get their money back of the establishment? Well, you've got more chance of winning the lotto, I think. Right? They're just what they're turning us into is to work on a continuous treadmill of slave labor to accommodate our new jihadi pals that hate us. Right? It's like us paying the jizzy. Right? And I am not complying. Right? And that's the way I stand, and I don't care. Right? And if any of you on X trying to poke in, just make yourself known, right? And then we'll have a meet and agree. And we'll have a nice cup of tea, and we'll serve you a nice pork pie, right? Because I'm sick of you. Yeah, I don't even speak to them to tell them to shove it. I mean, I look at them and I look at them with disgrace. I bought one of these things where you can translate, and I'm going to be one of my kids is trying to work it out for me. And once that's sorted, there's going to be a lot of these immigrants are going to get told right there and then when I can hear them going on in their mother tongue, because I'm sick of them. Sick of them. They're slagging us off. You know, you know. I've got another guy on X that sends me messages, and thank you if you're listening and tuned in, right? And keep yourself to yourself and don't let anyone know who you are. But he's got a friend that's actually in a mosque, right? That goes to the mosque, and he comes and tells everything that's said in the mosque, and he translates their transcripts and everything for us. And what they say is frightening, right? Very frightening. And all that's why I say to everyone, be ready for everything and get fit. You've got to get fit and keep your nut straight, okay? Think sensibly and keep your wits about you. And got to wisen up your children. You've got to wisen up your neighbours, because if they ain't going to listen, don't go to their help, right? Because there'll be more for them. Start community groups. You can all get fit together. There's nothing about against the law in doing that. You're all entitled to self-defense within reason. So that is, if someone attacks you, you can put them on their ass, right? But don't stamp on them and start putting the boot in. Do it old school, nice hook. Put them out on their ass. You see them, they don't last, right? They're only good when they're in a mob dandied, and that's how they roll, right? And it's a fact. And stop being scared of them. I can't say this enough. Don't be scared of them. The foul shit that I get off them on their ex, right? Okay, all the time. What they're going to do to my kids. Right? I invite them for a meet and greet. I invite them. And you go and look on their account. They hide. They're all cowards. They're getting extra lippy now. And it ain't going to be long, right? Well, that stupid traitor has got to be dealt with big time, right? That Mahmood, right, saying, what was it? Pakistani bashing, right? Well, you know what? Careful what you wish for, young lady, because us men are going to step up, and men have got to step up, mate. And a lot of the lads in Ireland are doing it, right? And they're getting results. Keep calling the police. What's the point? What is the point? You call the old bill and they nick you. So what's the point? As I've said to the police, no police required. I'll deal with my own law and order. End off. You know what I mean? Within the law. Within the law. Yeah, Craig. There are a whole lot of individuals, you know what I mean, and unhygienic, and they're dealing with your food. And half of them joints are using the kids that are in there trying to earn an honest few quid to get themselves through uni and earn an extra couple of quid to pay rent. And they're nicking their IDs, and going out earning on them. And while they're taking benefits, housing benefits, getting all this, and they're in the watching the budget, right? They're going to lift this two-child cap, right? Child benefit. Now you watch. They've all got these cousin marriages, right? How many kids are they all averaging? About 6 or 7, because that's the plan, right? And they're going to get paid for it. So they're all going to be, and who ain't? We're all going to be starving. Keep sharing. I keep trying to tell everyone. Yeah, you would look a bit dodgy with a skinhead, Sharon. But hey ho, we're all skinheads. We're all right wing, and I like to wear a pair of Dr. Martens every now and then. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with a pair of Docs. You know what I mean? Yes. But yeah. So, but no, it's driving me mad. The state of this country, the Cobra meeting today. I mean, they put all this protection after the Southport when they should have put protection on dance classes, on the schools, right? But no, they chose to do it on the mosques. When you got the same time, you got them coming out of the mosques all tooled up, and the police going, "Put your tools back in the mosque." Could you imagine if we all come out of church all tooled up? Hey, would you reckon they just say, go back and put them all back in the church, boys? No, they wouldn't. You know what I mean? The police are really, they're below the low to me now. They're not the police they used to be. And if they come around, well, we'll have it out in a court of law. I don't care. I'm not inciting nothing against the police, but they're not like they used to. No, you used to run to them or call for them when you're in trouble. Now you're scared to look at them. Yeah, who cares, Greg? Yeah, who cares? You know what I mean? Maybe all the nation should just wear all do ourselves up like skinheads, have a mad comeback. But skinheads were hypocritical anyway, weren't they, in the day? You know what I mean? They used to be dancing their ska music and it was all blues. You know what I mean? What a load of wallies. But they were just wallies and they got dealt with, didn't they, in the day? And that's it. And all that has passed. And they can keep bringing back the history and all that. Why don't they go a little bit further and see what we have done? You know what I mean? Well, what our forefathers did. But yeah. So, but as I said on X, I'll be making some improvements on that. And on YouTube, I'll be making some improvements on that. And I'll be inviting people up and to come on. So you never know, Sharon. You never know, Marcella. You never know, Colin. You know what I mean? It might be you. You know what I mean? But I'd rather deal with normal people and not idiots. I'm sorry. No disrespect. Pass is brilliant, but Pass he does a lot, but he's quite a shy guy, I think, and I don't think he's up for all of that, to be honest. You know what I mean? I'd love to get Bootneck on there with me. I reckon me and Dim will right rub off. But no, you've got to watch who are out there. There's a lot of scammers, there's a lot of grasses, and there's a lot of government agents that are pretending they're YouTubers. And that's a fact. You know, it all come out in time. And it won't be me that was name and shame them, but I can only give you enough hints to certain of you people that I know that are following them. They do, Craig. They do breed. That's MO, mate. That's what they do. I mean, that's the way they do. They just want to breed. So in years, but it's a law of averages. Then there'll be more of them than us, and that's when everything will be lost. The time to move and to do things is now. It's the next 12 months is going to be critical. I mean, all this protesting. The greatest thing was raise the colours, and everyone should do that. Okay, but they're trying to hijack that now. They're trying to hijack our flag, our flags, and it disgusts me. And I don't give a sugars what anyone says, but I'm not having no Pakistani Muslim, right? That is only first gen. She's just born here, right? Okay, in our parliament, and she's only there because she ticks boxes and mostly a member of the Fabian Society or one of that crap lot, right? Preaching to us about what we can and can't do. No. That's not on. No. I mean, remember the war? There was the ones that wanted to appease and bow over to the Nazis, and then there was a certain other group. There was a man called Churchill come up, and everyone slagged him. Yeah, and he wasn't a good character. He was a bad guy, but he had guts, right? But he would not have that, and he stood and fought, right? And then you look at Margaret Thatcher. Not a big fan myself because of what she did to the miners and what she did, but you hear some of her speeches about Europe, you know, and she was so bang on the money. And none of us listened. I don't wear the tight jeans, but I'm a bit partial to my Ben Sherman Sharon, right? But I've given up with the tight jeans. I think I'm a little bit too old for wearing that, for wearing them. But it was bleached as well, wasn't it? And it had red DMs. Yeah, remember that. Remember the days, yeah. Innocent days. Yeah, but now they're trying to fling that back in our faces because they're trying to say we're racist, and a lot majority of the skinheads weren't really, to be honest. It was just part of trying to be, you know, part of something. You know, and to be honest, I wish we had a little bit more of that attitude and that gun-ho spirit that they carried in them days. At least they stood there and took a kick in if they need to take it and gave it out if they needed to give it. End of. But all us lot cowering behind doors, it's not the way. And then, as you saw, I mean, for that march to be labelled by that scumbags in that house, right, of 3 million plus people, it was so multicultural. There was so many people there. I mean, I put photos up on my post. You could see it. The young Asian lad with the St. George's etched in his head on his haircut, you know, when they do all them lines, you know, and the Union Jack. And, you know, and he was telling us off the book, you know, where he got brought up, right? He's like third generation British, right? But where he got brought up, he didn't even know the Lord's Prayer until a year ago. That's how the schools are so dodgy. You know, they've got nothing about them. The schools are just too dodgy, right? And all you get on X, yeah, welcome to you dodgy teachers that are on there. Okay, this is to you lot, you wrong uns. You know, they wear their smelly jumpers with their lib crap. You know what I mean? They've all got to go. They've all got to go. Peacefully, of course. Yeah, the Fred Perry t-shirt. I bought one for nostalgic reasons a couple of years ago. By God, no, they're not what they used to be, Cole. Mate, it shrank. I ended up giving it to one of my daughters. Better to be far right than to be far wrong. Yeah, I know I did, Marcelo, and that's what we are. We are far right. Yeah, very right as well with it. Okay, so they could brand us anything. It does. It's like a water off a duck's back. It doesn't mean nothing anymore. You know, none of it does. And now they're trying to get to the kids. They're trying to get to the kids, and that's what they do. They go for the weak. They go for the elderly. They go for the weak. You know, the kids, the vulnerable. They've got all this money in the National Health Service. They're giving out things about first cousin marriage. Oh, that's okay. No, it bloody isn't. You know what I mean? It's not natural, right? And it's birth defects because they keep marrying, like, you know, the old medieval days where the royalties were doing that. Look at the state of them. And they've got to go as well. And that's from an ex-monarchist. Okay, Prince Charles is a disgrace and a weak man. He's got nothing about him. Any proper king of this land would have had this sorted. We should bonk for Britain. Yeah. Yeah. He made me laugh, Ben Habib. Yeah, we all want him to be a leader, but isn't he a brown man? I mean, how hypocritical of Pakistani heritage or Indian heritage, you know? But hey ho, who's making a fool of themselves? Them lot. They're just so idiotic. And Diane Abbott making that speech going, oh, using the old trick of the bull, while standing next to a trans geezer. They can't even tell the difference between a man and a woman. So how can you trust them with our government? Yeah, so am I, Sharon, to be honest. I know. I know, Sharon. I know. I know. But I mean, when we was at our time, it weren't the way, was it? You had enough children you could afford. I mean, I was one of five. We struggled. We had nothing, right? But and that's why I thought, you know, you just have enough that you can afford so you can give your kids things. But that's blue back, you know, it's come back to wilderness, really, isn't it? You know what I mean? The jam, yeah, the jam. I love the jam. But I like Paul Weller as well, but he's a bit of a dickhead as well with some of his views, guys. You know, I mean, I was a big fan of him. I went to a do. I was in a party years and years ago with my cousin Dal, and was in this party, and he was there, and what what a first class really was, mate. You know, what I mean, you know, sometimes I met Pat Jennings and David O'Leary once, and I wish I never did. Wish I never did. Being a gooner, you know, I thought, you know, this is a dream come true. They were both drunk, and they were both lucky they didn't get landed one. I'll tell you that right now. It's kind of cool. Oh, Marcella, bless you. That's it, Sharon. That's it, Sharon. That's it. I mean, we've got to start. We've got to start being, you know, back our British culture, our British ways, and you know, what I mean, being staunch with it. Don't be cowed by it, and wear it loud and proud. All right, and you'll be surprised how many of the Black and Asian community are with us. But see, all these moderate Muslims now, you guys have got to start. You've got to start. You've got to start standing up and being counted. In my eyes, right? It's one or two that are doing it, right, and they're brave. But sometimes I feel some of them are doing it, you know, just for the clicks and for. We can't be putting them at the front and using them as a bulletproof shield. We know what we are, right? We don't need to prove to these tossers what they think we are, right? Because they're just proving what they are. They're violent. They're the only ones that have been doing it. But sometime, as the time is coming, where if the police ain't going to stop and the police going to keep treating us how they do, what are we going to do? Stand back? Now, when I used to go to football, if you got treated by animals by the old Bill, caged in like they used to cage us until that nasty disaster, God rest their souls, with the Hillsborough, they used to cage us in. And what did you do? You acted like an animal. right? If they treated you with respect, you played the game. But if they treated you without respect, well, God help any one of them and they fell into the pit. Madness, yeah. I was watching the Sug things. He was doing a little one of those speech things, Sharon, the other day, old Suggsy, and he does make me laugh. But he's out of my old man of Finsbury Parkway. All of them, Johnny Rotten, all of them. You know, I like a bit of madness. Yeah, I do like a bit of madness. But he was doing his songs and he was changing them around, and he was quite comical. You should look out for that. Chest smash, Jesus Christ. Shower. Wow. You was well into it then, girl. But I'm so sorry, everyone on X. I know there's 134 of you that kindly thingy to please all follow, but I will be making a space and I'll be making a community that each and every one of you, fellow patriots and Jewish Israel people, you all know you are and you all know who I am. You're all welcome to join. And if you plasticine marches on all your left-hard idiots with that woke, cult, idiotic mindset, don't even bother. Don't even bother. Finsbury Park. Did you see madness there, Sharon? Because I was there. Yeah, that was many moons ago. Your girlfriend has 19. Jesus creepers. See, the Irish used to be, I mean, as I say, I'm from Irish stock and, well, half off. The other half was a mystery for a long time. But the Irish stock, they're all big families and they've all got to get back to that now. All got to get back to that. We all have. We all have. You know, so, but yeah. But I can't thank you guys enough. I really can't. I'm going to wind it down in about a few minutes' time. I'm not kicking you all right out now, but we will wind it down. And and I'm going to press a button to see if chat comes up in a minute. So if it goes off, that's what's happened. I've accidentally pressed the wrong button, but it's the last button on the screen. So let's see how we go. Nothing's happened. Oh. See, guys, I'm trying to be trying to do two platforms at once, and it's not. Oh, that's chat hid. So show chat. So if anyone in X could put something up, like Lee, you big head or something, you know, or clown, you're more than welcome. And remember on X, if you're saying the flag's upside down, it's not. Okay. It's just that you're seeing on X and everything comes the wrong way round. And you might be seeing my scarred side of the face, and I don't like that either. But hey ho, you can't hide everything all the time. I guess being an old goth who's dead, Black Sabbath, makes me the odd one out in the music. No, you're not, Lisa Fire, to be honest. Goths, nothing wrong with the goths. Okay. My sister-in-law used to be a goth. Black Sabbath, I'm sorry, but there's some tunes that I didn't like them in the day, I must be saying that. But I liked Ozzy, rest in peace, mate. But some of the tunes are banging. Some of them are banging. But then I liked a lot of stuff with Ozzy, with was it Sandy Rhodes before that horrific plane crash? And yeah, I do. I like some of their stuff, but I like some of them, Metallica and that. I don't. Some of the tunes are all right, but some of it's a bit too heavy for me. But then again, I love the guitar. I love the way they get on the guitar. I do like that. I do like a good band. Yeah, that's my weakness. I do like a good band, a proper band. None of this crappy singing. You know what I mean? It's not working. Yeah, there's nothing being with a goth. Yeah, God, I think you still get them every now and then, don't there? It was a few years ago, that poor kid that got attacked in a park, all because she was a goth. You know what I mean? It's totally outrageous. But there were the days them days, I mean, people could be with what they could be. You know, you could be what you wanted to be. I mean, the good thing I did see from the gay, lesbian, and bisexual community, they want their flag back, and they don't want any of that trans crap on it and that BLM. And you know what? I'd say well done them. After all their fighting and everything they did in the 80s to get equality and early 90s were always frowned upon. And they finally got it. And then you see them, Queers for Palestine. What's all that about? You know what they should do when the time comes, we'll scoop them up and we'll send them to Gaza, right? And just see how it works out for them. But there again, I do believe that the Muslim cult, these jihad Islamics, right, they want to cover their women. The women have got no rights. It shouts out gay to me. I'm sorry, but I think they're all gay. I think they might be closet woofers. Right, so they could take that one and put it in their smoke and pipe it. You know what I mean? I don't, you know what I mean? You can see this ugly boat, people. Come and say hello. Yeah, Craig, you got me into them, mate. You got me. I've been listening to all of them. I'm bloody subscribed to loads of them. Some of them are blinding, though. Some of them are very clever. Where they turn the old tunes and then turn them into, well, today's problems. I mean, it's quite clever. But they must get severely copyrighted. I mean, I put up a couple of videos from the United Kingdom rally. And, well, copyright strike, copyright. You know, I kept them up for a while and I just took it down to see if I could unsuppress my account. But it's not working. I don't think it is. So that's why I beg everyone to share, you know, thumbs up and buy us a coffee if you can. And also, as I say in that buy me a coffee thing, I will be doing a shop with that because I've been looking at that app and it's quite cool. And YouTube from then on, I really don't believe I think YouTube's going to turn very against patriots, especially when you've got people like, I think it's Clegg or something, overlooking Facebook and this and TikTok. I mean, I've been banned from TikTok to 2031. You know what I mean? All I've done was a couple of videos, but maybe I don't think you know now if. Yeah, so what, Sharon? So what? There's nothing wrong with that, babe. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what I said to my other half. If my daughters were like that, right, that was the way. If they were happy, that's all that matters to me. That is all that matters. It's their happiness. And it's the same thing if they go, oh, what about one of your daughters brought up a black geezer? I don't give a shit. If he's all right and they're in love and he's a decent fella and he's treating my girl right, we ain't got a problem. We ain't got a problem. I'm still getting over one of my girl's boyfriends, Ginger, and I'm finding that hard to get. Now that's hurting me, all right? But he's as good as gold as well. You know what I mean? As long as they treat them right and they're happy, let them be happy. Yeah, yeah. That's it, Sharon. That's it. You just got to be like that. You know, if you push them away, all you're going to cause them, right, is heartbreak and a heart, especially for my mum. My mum has ghosted me now for 20 years, right? 20 years. And, you know, so what? That's her loss. And then she has the cheek to send a friend request to my youngest. You know, what's just she's going for the youngest. You know, my daughter, I said, it's your choice. It's not mine. You know, I fell out with my mother about her lying about my birth and who I was, my name and everything. I mean, I've got 2 birth certificates. You know what I mean? And if it weren't for a bit of skullduggery and a beautiful West Indian lass helping me out in Somerset House, maybe I've never known. But when I asked my mum, she was so saying I was wrong and treated me well. My stepfather, he was all right. He was a good man, but a lot of arguments were totally uncalled for, and the way I treated him was uncalled for, and it was all to keep my mum's lie. And we fell out for it, and she chose not to have nothing to do with us or my children. And as my daughter said, no, I don't want ignored. But I'm not here to harp about and mope on about my past life because honestly, people that do that as well make me sick. right? If you do bird for doing a crime, that means you're a shit criminal and you should have been a librarian, right? And there's no story to it, right? It's the ones that never get caught, right? And the ones that go on about all their trauma from old. I've got so much trauma, right, that I've had severe counselling, right? I've had hypnotherapy. I've been given pills to calm me down, right? Calm me, right? So, and you look at how high rate I am, but I don't take all that shit, right? But the way to do it is clear your mind and just crack on and move forward. All those other ones are just stirring the pot. Oh, you know, weak men, weak. You know what I mean? That's it, Sharon. You've got to love him unconditionally. You know, don't push your boy away. Or, you know, they are what they are. And if he's a gay or a disabled jinx the pasty, let him be. As long as he don't come home saying he's trans, then I'd say have a word. You know, go, no, son, you're gay. Or you're bi and you're a greedy bastard. Oh, well, Sharon, the ginger bit's really getting to me, love. It's really getting me. But there's me. I was great at 13. No, I'm joking. I'm joking about that, and I don't mean nothing to my daughters or his boyfriend. He's a good guy. He's a good lad, and yeah, I like him. I like him. I've been super cruel to him in times like I mean, with my verbals. But I'm getting used to the ginger. Bless. Yeah, exactly right. That's what I said. I mean, my eldest daughter said, "What about if we have children and you've got grandchildren there, Ginger?" Oh, well, that's to love them unconditionally because that's the way it is. I love them unconditionally. I don't care. You know what I mean? But I see about dyeing their hair. But there again, my gene pool's going backwards. That's it, Sharon. You know, who cares? Who cares? Who really cares? You know what I mean? If they're true to themselves, right? It's the ones that come out gay that have had a family, married a woman, had children, and then choose to come out in later life and say they're gay. They're the ones that are weak. They're the cowards and they're the wrong ones, and they're the ones that I don't like. Right? Guys that are gay and that's who they are. That's who you are. You know what I mean? There was gay legions in the Roman Empire, man. Who gives a crap? You know what I mean? As my mum used to say, she did speak a lot of sense at times. You know, what you do in your bedroom is your own business, isn't it? As long as you're not hurting anyone. You know what I mean? Who cares? Your boy's a doctor, Colin. Nice one, mate. Nice one. Lovely jubbly, I would say. Lovely. Oh, well done to him. Well done to him. Must say that. Well done. My eldest, she's on her second year now, being a nurse, and my youngest, she's her second year now, doing her sports science. Can't say the uni or anything because if anyone ever goes 10 yards and threatens my kids, nothing will stop me. Nothing. Right. So if any of you leftards are in that X, remember that. Nothing. And remember this. Okay. Because the gloves will be off and nothing will stop me. Yeah, Shell. Do you know what I did? I'll tell you a funny old story before we go. And they laugh about it now, but I accidentally outed my oldest daughter, years and years ago when he was a young laddie, right? And he was gay at school and he confided, he was my daughter's best mate, one of her best mates. And he confided in her. And I was working alongside his auntie. And I got chatting to her as you do, having a chin wag. And I said, yeah, my girl, she's I got a mate at the school, and I'm in like a market town. And I said, and mate, her best friend, he's gay, but he's scared to come out and all that. And she goes, oh, what school? And I mentioned the school, and I should have clocked, but I didn't. And I carried on rabbiting. She carried on listening, doing her mind was going 10 to the dozen. And then she said to me, is his name? And I went, yeah. She went, that's my nephew. And I went, well, I said, you can't say Jack, you can't say nothing, you know what I mean? Because that's just not right. She said to me, she said, should I have a word with him? I said, no. I mean, she goes, well, I've always suspected. I go, well, you suspected, right? But it's up to him to come out. And he's come out, and he lives with his boyfriend, and they've got a gaff together. And, you know, they're happy, good luck to them, hard-working men. And what they like for dessert is their business. There's nothing wrong with it, Sharon, man. Good on them. Good on them. Yeah, exactly, Colin. I mean, but yeah, so yeah, as I say, I accidentally, and that boy, I had to apologise because I went and told my daughter exactly what I did. She told him, and he was scared. But to be honest, it might have been just a little something because it's only a couple of weeks later he actually come out to his family and they accepted it, thankfully. But then again, she's got another mate, and I love him to bits. Oh God, I'll say to him, "Wish you weren't bent." I mean, because I'd love him as a son-in-law. I really would. And he knows who he is. If he's listening, he knows who he is. But if my eldest girl, if she's ever got a problem, any problem, wherever she's been, or she's a bit down in the dumps, he's always there. He's always there before dad or mum can get there. That boy's there. And he's so staunch, but yeah, he bats for the other team. Bless him. And I'm gutted about that because I would have loved him as a son-in-law. You know what I mean? But yeah, but the other fella, oh bless him. I think he's full of anxiety, to be honest with you. I worry about him at times. But he's a lovely lad. They are. Got nothing against them. Nothing. But then again, I got brought up in London town, so that sort of thing was, yeah, you just got brought up to accept people for what they are. But hey ho, when we go Islamic, if they ever win the battle, and they won't, right? But if they ever did, wow, we wouldn't be able to be gay anymore. Nice one. Oh, bless you. And it's good to laugh, man. It's good for your health. It's good for your health. But don't tell anyone up about my balls ups. I mean, I could go in a bit about my past life, and it's like a carry-on film. Some of it. I mean, when I've been out grafting, like no robbing, never robbed people, never done that. But being out grafting, some of it has been like lock stock. And there's a film actually. It's called Love, Honor, and Obey. And if any of you guys can get it up, it's a very old film. But it was filmed in my old boozer where I used to hang out as a geezer. And I'm certain, and I am double certain, that was someone was watching us because a lot of what we were doing was in that film, and the way we acted was in that film. And got Ray Winston, Jude Law, it's got everyone. They're all playing by their names. And it's about a North London firm and a South London firm. And it's comical. And if you really want a bit of escapism, it's actually good to watch. But yeah, where they walk around Jude Law in the North London bit and the boozer where they do all the karaoke, as we used to, right? That was one of our locals. Now it's been converted into flats, unfortunately. And I've done another thing, Sharon, tonight. I went and had a look on Google Maps, is it? Google Earth? And I had a look at my old street as a child. And actually looks a little bit better than what it was in my day, but I'm going to actually go down there. Yeah, we've all got a past, Sharon, but I've got a lot of not guilties. And I was always innocent. You know what I mean? But no. But yeah, I just went on I went on a certain path, and that was it. Exactly, Colin. If you're not doing no harm to anything or forcing it on anyone or interfering with children and shit like that, so what? Who cares? I really don't care. It doesn't bother me. My best mates, some of my best pals. I'll tell you a little story once, right? I was sat on Prague Street in West London, just off the Edgware Road, outside of Boozer, right, with this geezer called, I'll just say Michael, right, one of the biggest lumps you could see, big skinhead geezer, right thingy. And it was the heat of the summer, and we're sitting outside having a placid light out, and there was this couple walking up towards us, and this couple I'm not being funny. This bloke's girlfriend was assault, right? And I went to my mate Michael. I went, wow, look at her. And just as I said that, the boyfriend, just took off his top, right? And my mate turned around while supping a pint. He's looked up and he's gone, oh, look at that. And I was like, what's that, Mark? He's gone, I've always loved your hair. That's how he come out. I mean, that guy used to, used to get up to so much mischief with us. But who cares? Don't care. Never forced it on us. You know what I mean? But used to always take the pickle out of us. But yeah, I've got some lovely stories about gay guys, man. Oh, right, and they're staunch. You know what I mean? Don't upset them. And in our day, right, we didn't go and victimize because we always used to say the saying amongst us boys were, look how the gays dress. They knew how to dress. We used to copy their fashion, mate. That's how we used to do it. Yeah, I used to like a party, Sharon. I mean, I can't remember the 21st. I can't remember most of the 90s, to be totally honest with you. But hey ho. But yeah, we all grow up. But I think I've got glass jaw now. Yeah, I was occasionally a dickhead as well, Colin, mate. I was a bit one of those idiot lager louts that couldn't even do that properly. And I apologise for that to all the people. But a lot of the times I used to get nicked on a Friday night and didn't come around and didn't even know why I was in the court on the Monday. You know what I mean? I'd be up at magistrates and they'd be like, you know, why am I here? They used to throw me out with a clip around my ear, man. But that old courthouse now is flats. But I got picked up one morning on I'll never forget, and that helped me change my ways in a way because I was a bit embarrassed, and I got taken, and I was going straight up to the Crown for a court case thing, and in the car or in the back of the pig van, I was sat there, and I was cuffed up, of course, but they whacked in 3 coppers to sit opposite me on the bench, and 2 of them coppers used to be my school friends, and then. That was bad enough. So and I didn't let on like I knew them. They did the same, but they were looking at me going, oh, you know, what are you doing, Lee? You know what I mean? And then when they got me out at the other end at the court and they took me round the back, they was having renovation works. And after builders that were doing it, friends of mine, you know, work colleagues as well. And it's just sort of made me, and then I had a few days before they took me off to the Ville and they held me in there. And I had a long hard think about what I'd been and what I'd done. And then fortunately I met someone lovely and I retired. And I've been retired now for about 20 odd years. But yeah, I am a bit ashamed for everything. But a lot of it was because I was misled. I was full of anger and emotions. And I used to take it out on people. I was juveniles, magistrates, crowns. You know what I mean? Whacked in the Ville for a little while. Who cares? It's what's been done, it's done. You know what I mean? But yeah, I do apologise to everyone. But not the geezers that I had toe to toes with. The ones that didn't deserve it, I do apologise. But the ones that come for me and were playing the same game as me, no, I've got no regrets. No regrets on that one. Yeah, I was very fortunate, but I got nicknamed. I got nicknamed Lucky because I've got so much crap in my back pocket and so much that I didn't know about and everything. And you got to do what you got to do when you're up in the dock. And fortunately, when I swear on the Bible, I told the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And yeah, and thankfully we had judges in them days, or they may be like Dolphin Square or bouncing around Soho after work, but when they put on the old wig and come out to do their business, majority of them were half decent, unless you got an old hanging one, and then you were in trouble. But yeah, the last one I got done, I was going to get an 8 minimum, and then they were going to lay me with a 5 on a plea, and I went all the way. I got not guilty, and after that, no, I walked out of the dock, and that was me. I've been finished with it, and I don't want to write a book about any of it. I tell cracks and jokes from things because I've been on saying things, but I still it's got this double jeopardy in now, so I've got to be very careful. But yeah, but hey ho. I used to get yeah, it's just the way it was. Just the way it was. I used to be paid to go and collect things and evict people and do things like that. I was one of them characters. You know what I mean? But hey ho, it's just the way it was. But I was a lot different. You know what I mean? And well, if Darren was in the chat, he'd tell you exactly what I was like because he saw it firsthand and experienced some of it. Yeah, but you was escaping something, darling, and well, I was escaping my domestic violence from my mother, to be honest, and shame on her. And that's what I used to do. I used to go out the house and just as a little kid, I used to fight grown men. How sad was that? You know, very sad. And that's how I got good at it. So, but hey ho about that one. But as I say, guys, I am going to write it down because I think this is one of the longest lives apart from the United Kingdom one until the rain hit. But this is it's been going on for an hour and 51 minutes, and I've totally enjoyed it. So I'll be switching off with X right now, to be honest with you. X, if any of you so desire to buy me a coffee, that'd be brilliant. Please all follow, and I'll follow you back. All leftards, don't even bother. Okay, and all stay strong. And I'll start that space, and I'll start a community over there. And if anyone wants to come in, right-minded people, you know who you are. For my active warriors, unsaid patriots, all you guys and the ones that you interact with my account, want to go in that WhatsApp group, you just DM me on X, you've got permission, right? And just DM me your number, and I'll guarantee that number, once it's added to that group, right, will be deleted and gone. Okay, it will not go anywhere. I'll swear that down, right? That's my honor in front of everyone. Okay, but thanks all for tuning in on X, and I love you. And as I say, be ready for anything. And if you can also subscribe, right? Because as I say, I've just been monetized on X, and that'd be fun. All right. So see you all later. God bless you all, and thank you everyone on X. Thank you all. Bye bye. And stop that. Right, because as I say, oh God. Right, so I've gone off X. Sorry about that, guys. But I've got a love affair with this YouTube. I don't know why. I just love YouTube. Usually, I'll just give up. I mean, my following doesn't match with my viewing. Some of my videos have more comments than views. My audience is mainly United Kingdom. Then I've got second place is USA. So all you Americans, please share because we need the Don, the Pontus, right? The man I love. And remember, I got married in the USA. I've got a lot of feelings for that flag. That flag there, okay? So, you know, share it so they let us know that you patriots, we backed you in MAGA. You've got to back us with this mega problem that we've got, right? Please, so that'd be appreciated at least. Yeah, cheers, guys. I mean that. X. And do you like my new mic? Well, I've had it about a year and a half, but I didn't know how to work it. So, yeah, I feel kind of professional. But as I say, I'm going to learn a lot more over the weekend with this, guys. And I'm going to start putting people up for chats. And you know, you can come up on the screen and take your turn, ask a question, and we do it that way. And we'll grow organically. I don't need a foot up from anyone. Well, it'd be good if they did. But Paz has been more than helpful towards me. But the rest, they can all go and do a swivel for all I care. Apart from Dan in Spain, Bootneck, Black Belt Barrister, and Fast Jet Performer. He's class as well. All right. But everyone, all take care. Love you loads. Okay. And I'm going to look for the button here. And sorry about the technology change, but I am trying to get better. And if anyone's interested in any of this stuff, and there's more, there's belts, And I've got pictures of them signing it. Everything's signed. It's all legit. England shirts from '66 World Cup. You won't get one of them again, ever. Right? Just contact us on that Buy Me a Coffee app. And I'll catch you all later. God bless you all. All stay safe. Right? And I'll speak to you all later. Bye-bye. God bless. And we're ending that stream now. And that'll go there. Bosh. We're here. Thanks, chat.